What's going on, y'all? It's J Smo Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys my review for Bullpen's latest drop, Bad Newz versus Fonz, a battle I've been looking out for. I think I mentioned a couple videos back that I was looking out for a minute. Started out on Smoke Room Battle League, was booked, ended up not going down. I guess Bullpen picked it up, and they promoted up. You know, they had the 15 minutes of fame where Fonz didn't freestyle back, kind of built up some excitement for the battle. Plus, they both had good years. Fonz so far, the Trez battle, the Geechee battle, he was fantastic in those. Has had some smaller obligations as well, some one-rounders. And then Bad Newz, I covered his JC battle, he did very good in. He beat Arsenal for 30 racks earlier in the year. And on top of that, this battle from the In the Building reviews, because I believe this was like the non-streamed event that Bullpen did, like you had to be there. I could be wrong, but people said that Bad Newz won this clear in the building. That was the big story coming out of it. There was a few 30s, and now that the footage is dropped, do I feel the same exact way? Does my opinion change from whatever the In the Building recaps were, right? So without further ado, let's start out with the first round. So first round starts on Bad Newz. He opens up with a few tie flips, the Mob family, a lot of ties. Watch me cross my T's and dot my I's. He brought it back to like, who'd I beat up in battle rap? Dot and I's. So a little bit of a comedy bar there. He has a couple Clone Tyrone bars, but the second one, it's still Clone Tyrone. Everybody is getting 2-for-1s. I thought that was fire. He has it's like cheating on the math test. Now he's got a problem on his hands. I've heard that a couple times before, but still witty. The pros and cons bar I thought was cool. And then I don't have this one like written out exactly how he rapped it, but we know Bad Newz with the real talk, kind of like the substance rap. It's kind of when he's at his best. So he had the whole segment about, you know, the homies got locked up. So when you see their moms, you got to explain it first. I thought the whole shit was fire that he set up there. The skins and shirts bar I thought was cool. News classified. I can't tell you about my work. I thought that was a witty little line. The Stranger Things scheme was pretty well put together too, talking about it. Nitty won, an alien took over your land, and then he mixed in, I think it was Will and 11, a couple of the characters from the show. So I even thought that was pretty clever. The Peppa Pig bar was kind of fun. Like, I hate pork so much, I won't let my kids watch Peppa Pig. The first time I seen death, it gave me life. It's a lot like, I think Arsenal had a bar in his second verse, Ace Amin, like that. Both are fire. I'm not trying to take away, but it's just a concept that I really like, so I thought it was fire the way he executed that. And then his best round of the bar, the first round, a lot of Christians amen after they pray. I aim in before mine. I thought that was super clever. You're not even battling a Christian battle rapper, but I thought that was fire. The only thing I really didn't like was the Santa Claus concept. Like, you sat on Santa's lap. You was the fat kid sitting on Santa's lap and smacks just like Santa, bald with a beard and selling y'all dreams. Like, the bar makes sense. I just wasn't a fan of the concept like that. The Bad Boy 4 bar was pretty dope. It doesn't matter if he has hemorrhoids. His ass won't hurt shit. Kind of disgusting, you know what I'm saying? But I thought that bar was even pretty clever. And then the identify, like the whole, I forgot how he broke down the wordplay, but the identify bar at the end of his first, I thought was pretty clever. And then you have Fonz's first round, right? And he starts out, last thing you want to give the landlord is Bad Newz. Thought that was a dope opener. And then the Garfield bar coming up here, he had this mini angle about like URL doesn't book you, only John, like Bullpen books you. So it's like Garfield, you don't eat till John feeds you. And that was very fire, and there's not a lot of reaction here. You know what I'm saying? Not for this bar, not for many of the bars coming up. And that's kind of part of it being an away game. It is a home game for Bad Newz, being on Bullpen. So I'm not even like mad at it, but it is a battle where you're going to have to see through crowd reaction a little bit with this one. You know what I mean? Because it's very evident kind of who they're cheering for in this battle. The sumo raps come to the ring with those ass raps. I thought that was clever. They had a bar about not saying nothing to Surf since he went away. It was like a two-parter. Craig Mama, you never say hi to the neighbor. Whole way he broke that down. I thought that was clever. News in the front yard, Dennis the Menace, thought that was cool. And then the back half of his first is when I think he has some of his better bars. And he brings up the Remy Ma and Bad Newz with the matching watches, which was a topic of a lot in the JC battle that Newz had. I would have gotten a celeb pick too after I robbed them and took a pick with Playboy's Cardi. Playboy Cardi, obviously celeb, Playboy's Cardi. Like, I thought that was stupid fire, and it barely got any reaction. The forecast of hope bad weather the storm, I thought that was dope. Forecast, bad weather the storm. Then he had the antagonist. I can't remember the exact way he set this up, but it was the antagonize, and they ain't seen new sense. The nuisance, news sense was the wordplay. I thought that was stupid creative. The STD bar that he flipped that I guess Newz had, they gave you a shot in the ass trying to get rid of you, talking about when Newz did get shot, you know what I'm saying, that he got shot in the ass, literally. So thought that was clever. And then he has a couple card bars at the end I thought closed out the first well. You got shot playing spades, they gave you 3 in a possible, which, you know, granted I kind of have heard that bar before, but he said fucking with me, it would have went from spades to tongue. Y'all would have been spread out in the suits, flipping up the card game, spread out in the suits for Tunk. I thought that was crazy. Probably his best bar of the round to end the first. And like I might have said at the beginning, but I do think this is the most competitive round, which is why it feels like I'm going over like a ton for both. Like, it is pretty evenly matched. I do think Fonz reaches some higher highs, but I think you could argue that, like, punch count wise, Newz was keeping up with like the amount of clever lines. Now, for me personally, though, I did prefer those higher highs in such a close round, and I did edge Fonz the first 1-0, but I could definitely see someone like edging it to Bad Newz 1-0. Like, it is that close of an opening round. So then, second round on Bad Newz, he starts with the rebuttal for the Playboy Cardi haymaker from Fonz first. He said, "Y'all like that? Well, watch this." I did not like that rebuttal at all. But then he has the stapled center. It looked like a Laker to me, showing kind of the scar on his stomach. I thought that was cool. He has the broken home bar. Another quick example of like Bad Newz rapping with substance. Like, my daughter's Barbie house collapsed. The way she cried, you would have thought she broke a bone, but I related to baby girl. We both came from broken homes. There was like the broken home kind of like wordplay there. I thought that was dope. Talk about the nice house. It's crazy how straight money can have you living crooked. I thought that was dope. And then he's got the property scheme, which was like the hip hop is real clip. Probably collectively from this battle, what got the most reaction out of anything. And I'm not going to say like every bar, but he had like, it was a property scheme. So he talked about bando, leave everybody in the family flat. I like the family flat flip. I haven't heard one of those before. Projects, too complex. We was in that apartment building. I had a trail of police on me. Condo, kind of dough. So, he's doing all of the property flips, but I thought he put it together well. Like I said, I like the family flat bar. So this is a good scheme. Follows that up with Bulldog. I can put a roof over your head. Like a roof, but like a dog roofing. And that really shows the duality of Bad Newz, right? Like a really well put together, like pretty well written property scheme, and then whatever the hell that Bulldog bar was, right? So that was cool. The flip 3 names in a bar. He is like he put Ty, Landlord, and Fonz all in one bar. I thought that was pretty clever. Aunt will be at his house in sex. If I find out something sweet's on his property, in sex, in seconds. So I thought that Ant bar was cool. Now obviously Bad Newz' name being Antoine, I think it is. Then he has this bar, which it got the crowd going crazy. Calling battle rappers gay, saying like he's only chasing John because his name's got 2 J's in it. So playing off J2's name, and bars like this are always going to get reaction. Followed that up with, and he's battling Mills next, and his name has a J2. So I don't think it's that crazy, but I understand, you know what I'm saying? The building goes crazy. There's some comedy elements to it. It's entertainment. Then he's got, my mama told me, boy, keep still, and I ain't put this pole down yet. That was fire. And then he's got the suicide note. I leave suicide note, kind of a shot at Surf at the end of his second. Pretty out of nowhere with that one, right? But okay, Bad Newz second. I didn't like. I thought his first was good. I thought his second was a bit of a step down from there. And then Fonz goes in the second. He's got a rebuttal of his own to the whole J2, concept. I'm not saying it. I'm not, watch the battle yourself, right? Involve Surf's name. I'm good. But it was a witty rebuttal. And then he has the only people that'll feel bad for you are the ones with the bombing fluid. I thought that bar was dope. He'll get put down with a legendary 2-piece like Richard Nixon. Obviously, Richard Nixon coming out to plane with the deuces up. Next time y'all see a news bulletin, it'll be a bulletin news. I thought that was clever. And then he starts angling about this whole the Dot and Bad Newz fight, because you got to realize when this battle went down, it was like right after first battle after that whole the video and the fight and the situation. Clearly that was a situation between Twerk and Dot. You got out the car trying to be super bad. I thought that was fire. They watched the video. It was a swing and a miss. I would have had you Dancing with the Stars, swing and a miss, like when they swinging the ladies on Dancing with the Stars, and that got no reaction. So that's what I'm just saying, like, haymakers, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion. Like, some of the tougher bars Fonz had just kind of got the silent treatment. Magic 8 Ball, you don't got... it don't take a lot to get it shaken. Just ask around. I thought that was clever. One of the more like layered 8-ball bars you're gonna hear. And then he talked to T-Top a little, because T-Top is the one that recorded the whole Bad Newz and Dot situation. Talk about when he saw Bad Newz like fall in the video. The second you seen that bad trip, you should have made his ass sit down. Acid, bad trip. So that was clever. Think I'm Dot and you gonna reach God. I thought that was hard. It barely got any reaction. You know what I'm saying? So I thought most of the bars he had out of that angle were dope. Talking about he had a bar before versus Geechee about a Listerine strip, but it was meant for you. Thought that was clever. As soon as Bad call, give him a tech like Scott Foster. Cannot fucking stand Scott Foster. You know what I'm saying? As any NBA fan really at this point shouldn't. That was fire. The spoon break bar was dope. He had a scheme of his own, the dental scheme. I don't want to hear nothing about Choppa's enamel, because bad tooth fake. Thought that was dope. And then the Head and Shoulders, Bad Scout bar. So this round to me is by a bit of a clear margin, probably the clearest margin of the battle in my personal opinion. Like I said, I still thought Newz had a good round, but I thought he got out-angled by Fonz. I thought he got out-punched by Fonz in this round. And this is a battle that going in, I kind of thought there would be clear separation, and the first had been really contested, but the second played more into what I thought, and I thought Fonz got the second round clearly in this battle. And you could debate 1-1, not mad at it, but I personally had him up 2-0. So we get into the third round of the battle, and this is the round, like I said, Newz, I thought, dropped in quality a bit from the first to the second, but I think his third is a step back up to that quality, and he has a couple slow starts. He had like this heat-in-the-moment punch I ain't really like, but then he gets to addressing his side of the Dot fight. This happened at a time that was like the poppin' angle, and he's got some counter writing in here too, and I'd say it's probably like his best written section of the battle, and even not just written, just executed well. He is the whole, like a game of Twister, hands and feet, had Dot on the floor. I thought that was dope. If you really think about it, I'm the one that got Dot back on Smack, talking about how he smacked Dot before the fight. So he already beat Dot in a battle, beat Dot in real life. He's still got a couple of fire bars going at Dot to start it. But then this is where he kind of flips it at Fonz, right? If I hit the ground and the homies don't jump in, then who's breaking the rules? I think that's fire, because at the end of the day, fair fights, we understand it's the fairest to get the one-on-one, but if your homie goes down, you go and help him, right? It's how a lot of people were brought up, and he mentions it later, you know what I'm saying? I think he says it himself in the round a couple bars later. Then from there, if you told the homies, if you don't know him from a can of paint, make graffiti out of him. Still playing off it and now adding the wordplay. So I thought that was fire. And then I feel like there's no better example in this battle, damn near in general, of how he making a punch that's not a punch. Like just real life shit hitting. Everybody rapping, but everybody ain't just rapping. It's so simple, but I swear to God, it was so fire, especially the way he delivered it as well. So, everybody rapping, but everybody ain't just rapping. And then from there, gets away from kind of the counter right in the angle and just punches out for the rest of third. Ain't no Muslim poppies in my crew. It ain't that easy to get to me. Easy Muslim poppy. It's a cool punch. If you learned anything from Dr. Sebi, the land food, it is funny because afterwards he's like ad-libbing, like, plants. I'm talking about plants. But still a clever bar nonetheless. My homie had street smarts and died before he got an education. I thought that was cool. And then he's got the right side registration bar at the end. I thought was dope too. But as you can tell, I really thought Bad Newz' third was formidable, and then it's on Fonz in the third, and he refers to the situation Ace, I think Bad Newz' face off a long time ago, where Ace had like the file with nothing. Well, I think it ended up being nothing in there or something, and Bad Newz like, what's in there? Paperwork. It flips into, I don't think he's a snitch, but I've never seen a fork hold water. Bad Newz being GD, and then the whole, if you put a fork in water, you know what I'm saying, the water's going to fall through the fork. I thought that was a creative concept for all the different, fork bars we've heard in battle rap. I hadn't heard one, you know what I'm saying, with the whole holding water shit. And then he's got the, You all you got is OBC. You mandated like a COVID mask. I thought that was clever. I can't even give Bad credit. He's not shit without a cosign. I thought that was clever. And then it's a few haymakers that just roll in here for Fonz. He's got it's bullpen over bullshit till I put Angels in the outfield. That was crazy. Obviously, Angels team in baseball. Get right after that. Get yoked halfway up like a devil egg. Stupid. The Mockin folks talk about Newz taking surf style. The Mockin folks, my kin folks. I thought that was dope. And if I got to note anything from this Fonz third, though, there was a hard stumble here. And I'm going to call it a stumble. It was only about 4 seconds long, right? Like literally 4 to 5 seconds. However, Fonz made it like mad obvious, clearly got frustrated, so we got it back quick enough that I won't call it a choke, but you're going to have to take some points away for like that like very abrupt and like making it look abrupt as well, kind of like not stoppage to the round, but little pause in the round. And then he's got 2 arms up for holla and you. I'm a soldier boy, tell him 2 arms up, holla and you, holla and you, talk about Hitman. That was stupid. The Brian Gumble bar after. And then to end off the third, he has what's crazy, and the crazy thing about Paul Bears is they a 0.6. So I thought Fonz's third was really good, and I almost want to say the third is kind of close, but he just hit so many haymakers at the end. Obviously, I'm very entertained with both of their third rounds, but me personally, I still edge Fonz the third round of the battle. So that is my full thoughts on the battle here. Kind of called an inverse, right? The talk was Newz 30, and I did call it Fonz as a gentleman's 30. But as I said, really good battle. There was no lie about that. I think that both of them were very good in this battle. But when you have Newz, who's so performative in the building, he's at home, he's had momentum lately. When I heard he 30'd Fonz, it did sound a little bit skeptical, right? And I could kind of see how it got there. I could kind of see the building liking that more performative style more. But I do think the content was the difference on the rewatch here. I think Fonz has some of the better PK makers of the battle, just a little bit more sound content-wise, and performed through it, showed poise. It's not like he showed any weakness in his delivery or was bitching at the crowd the whole time. He performed straight through it, and that's done him wonders here on the playback for the battle. But now I want to hear your guys' opinions on it. Did you call it the same? Did you have Newz winning like they said in the building? Now that the battle's out, or did you kind of call it like me? You do think that Fonz's material here is the difference in the battle. But once again, I mean, for Bad Newz, even though I got him losing this one, I had him winning the last one versus JC. I thought that was a great bullpen drop and a few good bullpen drops this year. But I might even say this battle's a little bit better. So let me know, do you think this battle's a little bit better? Who do you have winning, and how do you feel about both of their 2024s, Bad Newz and Fonz, as of right now? But it's been J Smo Reviews again here, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you on the next one, man. Peace.